Ladies and gentlemen, some heroes don't wear suits. Some don't stand behind podiums. Some don't have millions of dollars, political power, or media networks behind them. Sometimes a hero is just one man, a pickup truck, and an unwavering conviction. For more than 3 years, one American has traveled across this nation carrying a message that refuses to be silenced. Known across the country as Redneck Support Palestine, Abdullah Muhammad transformed his truck into a symbol of solidarity, justice, and resistance. While many speak from the comfort of their homes, he chose a different path. He sacrificed his job, left behind the comforts of everyday life, and spent countless nights sleeping inside his truck as he journeyed from state to state, city to city, determined to keep the voices of Palestine alive. His truck has become more than a vehicle. It has become an icon, a moving reminder that compassion knows no race, no background, and no political label. Everywhere he goes, people recognize the truck, wave their flags, share their stories, and find hope in knowing they are not alone. In a time when many choose silence, he chose action. In a time when many looked away, he kept driving. His mission has inspired thousands across America and around the world, proving that one person, armed with conviction and courage, can spark conversations that reach far beyond any border. Now, we are honored to welcome a man whose journey has become a movement, whose truck has become a symbol, and whose dedication has inspired countless people to stand for justice. Please join me in welcoming the one and only Abdullah Muhammad, aka Redneck Support Palestine.
Welcome to Inside with Sam. I'm your host, Sam Sankar, and this is my guest, Abdullah, Redneck Support Palestine. Abdullah, how are you? Good to have you here.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah, it's great to have you here, man. We've hung out in the past
Yes, we have.
weeks. We got to know each other.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
we had a good time.
Great time.
Yep. And I got to know a lot about you, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us a little intro of who Abdullah is.
Well, I'm just your typical country guy, man. You know, grew up in Texas, in the desert, of course. Midland, Texas is nothing but desert. So, you know, we like to cow tip and ride dirt bikes and four-wheelers and, you know, do random stuff in the desert. So, I mean, this is the type of person I am. I'm very outspoken, and that's what we all are in Texas. We're really outgoing, and we're loving people. You know, we got a lot of love to give. As long as you don't cross the line, we don't have to show you our mean side, you know.
That's awesome. So tell me a little about how you embrace Islam. Can we start like there?
Yeah, we could start there. So about 8 years ago, you know, I've been supporting Palestine for 21 years, and I've seen all that the Palestinians have been going through. And, you know, growing up as a Christian, you know, I go to church and everything like that, but I never felt like I was close enough to God. So, you know, watching the Palestinians lose their homes and their family members and their kids and all the stuff they've gone through, but yet you still see them opening up the Quran and reading, and you still see them praying to Allah. I felt like I wanted that. Like, I was not close enough to God. So, you know, one day I just went to El Paso, Texas, and studied Islam there, and stayed there for about a week and became Muslim, alhamdulillah.
Oh, subhanAllah. Was that like a mosque in El Paso,
Yes,
Texas?
there's only one mosque in El Paso, Texas. Very big mosque.
Right.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Sits on the top of a hill.
And this is where you walked in and you learned a lot about
Yes,
Quran. Was there brothers to teach you about?
The imam spent the whole week with me.
Wow.
I never experienced something like that. I can't even get a pastor to sit down with me for 5 minutes and talk about the Bible. So,
And he put that much effort into him.
he did. He put that. He's seen that I have potential, and he sees this is what I wanted.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like to jump into something unless I study it first.
Right.
You know,
Would you say that was your turning point to embrace Islam because of the Palestinians' faith?
Yeah, because of the Palestinians and the faith they have in Allah, and all they go through, you know, Allah is testing them so much,
Right.
and their faith is still so strong.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted that.
Right.
I wanted that.
So you mentioned to me, as we got to know each other, you mentioned to me that you did the Umrah and you did the Hajj. What pushed you to do that? I mean, I didn't even do the Hajj yet. You know, mashallah, God bless you.
Well, I worked on an oil rig for 21 years, so I had a lot of money saved up, and when I was studying with the Imam, he was telling me about Hajj and telling me about Umrah. And he said, you can't make both in the same year. Because I asked him, I was like, can you make both in the same year? He's like, no, you can't. So the first year I became Muslim, I got invited to make Umrah. And I paid for everything for myself, but I got invited. And we went. It was beautiful. I mean, the most beautiful experience I've ever had in my life. When we got there, my heart sunk to my stomach. It was something that I could not imagine. Tears were running down my eyes.
It was a very powerful moment.
Very, very powerful moment for me. I didn't even experience that with Christianity.
Yeah.
Christianity I never felt like I was at home, like I do with Islam.
Right. With your family, my question about your family, when they found out that you embraced Islam, were they okay with it?
My family doesn't even know I'm Muslim.
They don't know you're Muslim?
Okay. Unless they watch my videos online, because I haven't talked to my family in almost 21 years now.
Okay, I got you. Now, you've been on the road for how many years?
3 years straight.
Protesting. You've been protesting on the road, going from state to state. And how many states have you been? Can you walk us through all that? What you've been doing
I've
on
been
the road?
to all 50 states. Unfortunately, when I first started doing this, I had a lot of money, all oil money that I saved up, my life savings, and for the first 3 months, I spent my first month in Alaska with my truck, and I spent my second month in Hawaii with my truck, shipping it there, of course, and then I shipped it to Puerto Rico and drove it around there, but I didn't feel safe there, so I left, because Puerto Rico is kind of on the edge with everything, so I came right back to start traveling around the United States. I've been from coast to coast 3 times, and I've been to every single state.
Every single state?
Every single state.
Can you tell us, like, your experiences, through other states?
Well, I start off by California is the most pro-Pali state I've been to. I go to California. I stay there for months. Every time I turn around, there's either a banner drop or a protest or an opportunity for me to teach somebody about Palestine. The worst state I've been to is Florida. A lot of people think New York is where all the Zionists are at. No, the Zionists are actually flooded in Miami.
Really?
They control
I did not
Florida.
know that. Really?
They control all of Florida. So I went to Florida one time, and my truck is not allowed in Florida no more. They passed a law in Florida that anything that is on your vehicle that is against Israel is anti-Semitic, and you may not come into that state with it.
So if you go to Florida right now, you can get in trouble? Is that what you're telling me?
I went to Florida recently.
Yeah.
I wanted to go there. This is before I came to Dearborn and New Jersey. I took my truck over there, and I got maybe 2 miles in and got pulled over by a state trooper.
Wow.
And I'm like, why am I being pulled over? I wasn't speeding or anything like that. But I have my big Palestine flag flying in the back of my truck. So he pulled me over, and he stated, this is his exact words: you have 2 options, boy. I can take you to jail for being anti-Semitic, and we can crush your truck. Or you could turn around and get out of Florida right now. Well, I love my truck, so you know what I did. I turned around, but he followed me all the way out of Florida.
He made sure he did.
Oh, he made sure I left.
Yeah.
So, yes, Florida is the most Zionist state in America. They even have their own Star of David. Well, they call it a Star of David. They have their own license plates out there now.
Yeah, I can't believe that I saw that.
I can't believe that neither. Like,
Yeah.
this is America. America's supposed to be first.
It hasn't been feeling like that in years.
No, it hasn't. But I've seen a big change. I mean, when I first started doing this 3 years ago, I was the most hated thing on the road. You know, yeah.
Yeah. Have you experienced anything violent?
I've been attacked. I've been beat with bats, and I don't want to go too detailed to
Right.
the violence that I have experienced, but you know, my protest is also a little different. I don't just do big protests. Like if I'm driving in a neighborhood and I happen to see an Israeli flag in somebody's house, as long as they have a sidewalk, it is in my right to stand on that sidewalk and protest outside their house, as long as it's within the noise ordinance, which is usually from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Right.
So, you know, the most violence occurs when I'm protesting in front of their houses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's like their private property. Maybe that's
Well,
why.
they think it's their private property, but a sidewalk is public property.
Right. But you're going to their private property. That's
I never walk on their property.
Right.
Always on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
But they feel like, you know, they're obligated to attack me because I'm interrupting their dinner or they're trying to put their kids to sleep.
But on the road, you never get violently attacked.
On the road,
or-
all right, so there is a big dent in the front of my truck, and a lot of people don't see it because the keffiyeh wrap kind of hides it. But when you're like standing next to it, you can really see it. This was caused by a semi truck in Utah.
Really?
When I first started
Utah.
doing this, my truck wasn't fully wrapped at the time. I still had burgundy on my truck. Just my doors were done. I had a big flag on the back, and a semi hit me. He tried to run me off the road in front of a cop. I have actually locked up 10 Zionists in the past 3 years, thanks to all the cameras that are on my truck.
Yeah, you put the cameras like just for backup.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
For evidence.
California put a great camera system. It's better than a Tesla system
Right.
in my truck. It sees everything.
Right.
And now I keep a 360 camera on the roof too.
Mm-hmm.
So I have eyes in the sky now.
Out of all the violent things that you've been through, being on the road, like you said, is there any, moment that was like, all right, maybe this is too much. Let me go home. Or have you ever thought about giving up?
There's been times when, I thought I couldn't do this anymore, and I'd get to my lowest and I'd get real depressed about, first I'd get homesick. I get homesick a lot. I'm on a road by myself, traveling across country. I'm doing miles driving by myself. Then, it's the amount of stuff that the Zionists put me through as an American to stand up for my First Amendment right is horrible. And it breaks me down sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do want to give up. But then I think to myself, the Palestinians have been fighting for 75 plus years and have not given up their land yet. So how can I give up on them?
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
I think about that all the
You're
time.
definitely more Palestinian than the Palestinians that I know, brother. That's for sure.
I'm just being a human being. I don't want fame. I don't want to be known as a person. When I go in history books, I don't give anybody my government name because I don't want my government name in history books. I don't want to be known as. I just want to be known as somebody that stood up for the righteous cause.
Yeah.
And that's why when I go in history books, it's going to say Redneck support Palestine. It's not going to say Abdullah. It's not going to say, my government name. It's going to say Redneck support Palestine.
When the whole Gaza, genocide started, I feel like people were, they ignored it a lot, right? But recently, you've seen people waking up.
All right, so like I said,
their soul has been awake.
For the first year of this, it was very difficult. Nobody would listen. Everybody would believe the propaganda. But being on the road for 3 years, the first year was hard. The second year got better. And this year, I can't believe I'm in New York and I'm in New Jersey. And I was hated here last year. People were flipping me the finger. I hate to put it this way. I cannot imagine the amount of people, including white people, that here in New Jersey and New York City that I have seen talk to me about Palestine and open their eyes to what's really going on.
Wow.
I cannot I cannot imagine that 3 years ago. I couldn't imagine how much Zionism is hated in this world now.
Wow, you didn't
You know,
tell me that. We never spoke about that. So
yeah.
you're telling, so 3 years ago, people hated you more, seeing your truck and
Yes.
protesting?
Middle
and then
fingers everywhere. Like, never got a thumbs up. Now I see people, yeah, let's go, thumbs up.
Wow.
Like beeping their horns at me. You know, even I even see people sticking their they got little Palestine flags in their cars. They're driving by me showing off Palestine flags, and 80% of the people I see supporting now, I would never thought white people, the amount of white people would in America would be supporting, you know, Palestine and supporting what's really happening and where our tax dollars are really going.
I honestly think that people were brainwashed to
Well,
believe something different.
I was brainwashed at one point.
We
too.
all were. We all were.
We all were. You know,
We all
that's exactly what Zionism is created to do. They control the media.
Right.
So, you know, a lot of people on the road, when they would ask me questions about Palestine, my first thing would tell them to stop watching Fox News. Stop watching the news. And, you know, the first thing I tell them, Al Jazeera. Watch Al Jazeera. I know it's not an American news channel. They are. They have news channels all over America, all over the world. They have
do.
one here
They
in
do.
America too.
They do, yeah.
And when you watch Al Jazeera, and they're like, "Oh, it's in Arabic." No, they have an English channel. Watch the English channel. All it is the translation of what they put in the Arabic channel.
It's true.
I've been on Al Jazeera,
yeah.
you know, for my activism.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, during these times that I've been trying to change people's minds, because you know how it is. I'm a white guy supporting Palestine, you know, and other white people, they were supporting Israel. But what piqued their curiosity is, why is this guy believing in this and I believe in this? Let me ask him questions. So there's been a number of Zionists that have changed their minds as well to be pro-Palestinian.
You've educated
I've
people on the
educated-
road.
I've
You've
educated-
had full conversations and
I still
educated
talk
them.
to these people that used to be Zionists till now.
Really?
Yes, but they are straight pro-Pali. I talk to them on the phone. They have Palestine flags all over their house.
And you changed their mindset from Zionism to pro-Pali.
It took a lot.
Right.
It took a lot. It wasn't just one conversation. You know, we had mad debates and mad conversations, and it took months, but they realized what was really going on.
Yeah.
You know,
I think you know, with Israel doing all of the destruction all over the world and what they're doing to everybody, not just Palestinians,
we're talking Lebanon and
that
Syria.
that also woke up
Yes.
a lot of people too. And recently they just said that, you know, something leaked out that they were talking about you know,
Turkey.
possibly bombing Turkey. You heard about that?
Yeah, I
Tell me
heard
what you
about
heard
that.
about that.
I
Turkey, and what was the other one? It was
Um,
Turkey and
I think they're going to go after Egypt. I heard
Egypt
something
and
about
Turkey,
them
that's what I
going
heard.
after Egypt too, because they want this greater Israel. You know, they want the whole Middle East to be Israel.
right. I believe
And
that.
you know, it was promised to them 3,000 years ago. You know, so I guess it's theirs, but none of them look like they're from the Middle East. You know, and how can you be promised something that is not yours? You know, we've seen the videos online of the ships coming in the 30s to what was Palestine, not Israel. You know, we see these ships and the Palestinians welcoming them with open hands. But at the same time, you know, you turn around and you kind of stab them in the back, like, you locked me out of my house.
Yeah.
This is my house now. And a lot of people get a misconception about 1948 it was only one radio station back then. So when they were talking about how Israelis were stealing houses, a lot of people just left,
Right.
you know. And that's a lot of people think that they just took every house. No, a lot of people just fled because they were scared,
Yeah.
you know. But I would be too if you're going to if you're taking down my village. Don't you think I would be scared enough to just leave before you can attack my family or do anything to my children?
Yeah. Did
But-
you ever have a shocking moment while you were traveling for all these years protesting? What shocked you the most? Like, do you ever have a crazy shocking moment? Like, wow, this shocked the hell out of me.
Um,
I mean,
Not
you've been on the
really. I
road
mean,
for a long time.
I don't-
so
I don't
you've
think-
experienced a lot of things, right?
I've experienced a lot of things, but I think what shocks me the most is what my government can do to an American like me.
Mm. Can you
Shutting me
explain to
down.
us?
Well, I mean, I have Secret Service running up on me. You know, Mossad agents run up on me. CIA. You know, these people questioning me, tracking me down and asking me questions. Just recently in Riverside, they towed my car and impounded it. They gave me a ticket for obstruction of license plate, but didn't give me a ticket for suspended license. Well, when I finally got my truck out of impound, I went to Texas. And I asked Texas at the DMV, is my license suspended? Has it ever been suspended? Well, Texas told me, no, your license has never been suspended. So they gave me a piece of paper that says my license was never suspended. So I sent that to my lawyer in California. And my lawyer is telling me that it was against the law for them to impound my truck, that they were basically targeting me. I mean, it shows that they were targeting me because 3 days before they impounded my truck, Secret Service ran up on me in Riverside at an event that I was doing to gather funds to get blankets for Palestine. So it shows you that, you know, the Zionists narrate everything,
Yeah, of course.
you know, and it was just shocking that an Arab cop is the one that pulled me over,
Really?
but it was a bunch of white cops around him. So it was basically like an Ice Cube situation, except for the Arab cop was showing out for the white cops,
I got
you know, trying to get some stars there.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, that's what shocked me the most. I think what shocked me the most is that they impounded my car knowing that my license was not suspended.
Yeah. What would it take for you to drive your truck home and call it a day? Would the war being over would be
It's to
the
me,
reason
to me,
to-
it's
to
not a
take-
war, brother. I'll never
the
call
genocide, of course?
I mean, yeah, it's a
If
genocide.
the genocide was over,
I would never call it a war, but yes,
Yeah.
if the genocide ended and the apartheid wall was knocked down, I would drive my truck home knowing that I successfully have accomplished a piece of something that I set my heart out to do. I would cry the whole way home knowing that Palestine is free and that we as humans are all able to live in a peaceful world.
right. But what if this doesn't stop? Would you still keep going?
I'm not going home until there's no apartheid. I'm not going home. This piece on my neck, it represents something. This is a customized Palestine piece. The wire around my Palestine piece represents the apartheid wall, represents the barbed wire on the apartheid wall. Now, when they knock that apartheid wall down, that's when I'll go home, because I'll clip this wire off my piece and remove it, and my Palestine piece will be free, and Palestine will be free. Until there's no apartheid and the genocide stops happening on all of the people, not just Palestine, all of the people of the Middle East.
Yeah.
Until there's peace in the Middle East, I can't go home. We're human. Humans do not stand back and watch something like this happen. Over 700,000 children killed in 3 years, not including the ones that are under the rubble.
Right.
That is just not something I can sit back and watch. You know, I have to be out here. People know about Palestine and know what's really going on, but there's still a lot more education than you can do out here.
I agree. There's still change that you could do.
There's still a lot of change.
Silence is not not the answer.
Silence,
That's for sure.
silence is deadly. This is exactly what the Arab leaders do.
Yeah.
They're silent. They're paid off to be quiet. And it's a shame that a white guy like me is doing more than the Arab leaders.
I agree.
Because in my heart, I'm a peaceful, loving person. I believe we all deserve to be free. I lost both my kids to COVID, and I can feel the pain that the Palestinians feel every day.
Right. So your pickup truck went viral, right? And that's how they got to know you. And then what can you look in that camera right there and tell them about who you really are, who Redneck really is? Who is Redneck? What do you want to say, one thing to the viewers?
I'm an outgoing, loving person. I'm so friendly to everybody. I have no hatred in my heart except for towards Zionism. I don't hate Jews. I don't hate Buddhists. I don't hate Christians. I don't hate Hindus. I hate Zionism. And Zionism is not Judaism. And Zionism occupies every religion.
Right.
Not just Judaism.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say that I'm a loving person until you cross that line and you have to meet the mean side of me, which I hope nobody ever has to meet. Because
Right.
I haven't even had to show, I've showed Zionists my mean side online, but never in person. I'm hoping I never have to resort to any kind of violence because the Quran teaches us to be peaceful. You know, and I'm very Semitic as a person. So I never want to be anti-Semitic.
Right. I got you.
So
You showed a little emotion when we were talking about when you were just talking about, you mentioned your girls. And I know it's a thin line. And I don't want to go there, but are you comfortable sharing that with us?
I don't.
Would you be
mind
comfortable
sharing
sharing that with us?
So
Because I also lost a
kids-
boy and a girl, just so you know.
my kids didn't die in the same house. I have custody of my daughter. She was 5 years old. My baby mom, we'll just say baby mom, had custody of my son. And my son died with her. But they got sick at the same time, but different states. And they died a month apart from COVID. Very sick. I mean, it happens. It happened to a lot of people during COVID. A lot of people died.
Did they have an existing condition that made them die from COVID?
They just got really sick and they couldn't fight it. My daughter's lungs collapsed. There was nothing else they could do. You know, she couldn't breathe. My son, I don't know the full story because me and his mother are strained. All I know is that he got very sick. Think the doctors were contacting me and telling me that his heart was not pumping right. And I'm known for a heart condition. Actually, 3 of them. I have 3 deadly heart conditions. I don't tell my followers because they're already worried about me so much being on the road doing what I'm doing. And they're worried about my life. I don't need them to worry about my health too. You know, but I take very good care of my health. But I think that genetically my son had my heart diseases. And that's why he couldn't bounce back from
Right.
COVID.
With your kids, passing, may God rest their soul, and obviously, inshallah, they're in a better place.
Yes.
How does it make you feel, losing a child and then seeing children get slaughtered? How does that make you feel?
As you can see, I'm a little
Because you're a father.
emotional.
Because you're
I
a
mean,
father. You know what I mean?
I'm a father, and losing my kids. That's why I said I can feel what the Palestinians are feeling, just not as bad as they're feeling. The way they're losing their kids is horrible. It's horrible. I lost my kids to a natural thing, sickness, but I still lost my kids. My pain is deep for my kids. I still love my kids, and I have a lot of fond memory of my kids. But the pain that the Palestinians go through, losing their kids,
Yeah.
is nothing compared to me losing my kids. And watching what the Palestinians are going through, there's so many videos on my Instagram. They say a man's not supposed to cry. Well, there's a lot of videos of me crying.
There's nothing wrong with it.
There's a lot of videos
There's
of me
nothing wrong with man crying.
crying
Yeah.
and very frustrated with the Zionist regime.
In my opinion, if you don't cry, you have a dead soul.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So-
I mean, like Zionism,
Yeah.
you know.
You have to be evil for
You
you
can
not to have
see the
tears.
dead in their eyes.
Yeah, yeah. If you had a child, a Palestinian child, standing next to you right now, what would you tell them?
I wouldn't tell him anything. I'll take him home with me. I would take him home with me because, well, it depends if he has his parents or not. But,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, if
If he's an orphan, you're
Still,
saying.
if
I get
he's
it.
an orphan,
I
I would take
understand.
him
I
home
understand.
with
Well, there's a lot of orphans in
I mean-
Palestine, so it's natural to think like that. But I'm saying if he wasn't an orphan, but there was a child that's standing next to you right now from Gaza, let's
first
say,
of all, I'd give him a big hug.
what would you say to him?
I would give him a big hug, and I would let him know that, you know, there are a lot of people in this world that are fighting for the freedom of Palestine, and that he is not alone. He is not alone. He always has somebody here, rather it be his baba or his mama, you know, or his umi or his aunt, uncle.
Yeah.
You know, he has somebody here. There's always somebody here. You're not alone. None of the Palestinians are alone. We're here for you. It may not seem like we're here for you. You may feel like you're alone over there. But believe we're fighting.
Yeah.
We are fighting. The numbers are great in America.
The numbers are growing.
I haven't been outside of America, but
The numbers are great.
the numbers are
They're grown.
great
They're
in
grown.
America. I
They're
can't
awake.
believe that I've gone through Nebraska, Mississippi, Alabama, and I see so many farmers now supporting Palestine.
Wow.
I mean, literally, I just went through Nebraska, and you know,
White is Nebraska's all white.
that's
all
a white farming state.
As white
bro.
as it could
We're
be.
talking suspenders chewing on a straw type state, okay? And
And they support.
I couldn't believe when I went to the store to get some food for my hotel. I couldn't believe I had a bunch of farmers and tractors surrounding my truck. I thought I was going to have a big problem.
really.
Well, as soon as I got out there, they were like, "This is your truck?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Man, I support everything on that truck. Thank you. Thank you for being the voice. I wish 3 years ago I would have known something like this, but it took me 3 years to realize that we are going. Farmers are mad right now.
Wow, that's
They
powerful.
cannot afford fertilizer to grow food for me and you.
Right. Right.
So farmers are very mad at our government right now.
Oh yeah, a lot of people are mad at our government.
Oh, are they?
They're going
ever?
in a wrong direction. This country used to be the greatest country in the world, hands
Well,
down.
when you have a president,
But it's becoming worse and worse every year.
when you have a president that openly says, "I'm a Zionist,"
Right. And
There's-
he's all for Israel.
All
and,
for Israel,
And
100%.
Israel is before America.
yes,
And our friends, you know, PNN and all these people, they go around, they say Israel first or
I've
America
done it.
first.
I've done it myself.
Yeah, I saw your
recently,
recent reel.
I've recently started doing this in New York.
How many people answered you America first? And why are they not
I
answering?
asked 100
But why are they
people.
not answering? Like
You want to know
America
why
first?
they're
Are
not
they
answering?
scared? What?
They're scared to lose their jobs because Zionism controls everything in this world. They control so many of the jobs. They control so many of the media.
Yeah.
You know, you have freedom of speech in this country unless you talk bad about Israel. Once you say one bad thing about Israel, all your freedom of speech is gone. Look at something that I've been through, you know. I can't fly. I couldn't believe that I'm on a no-fly list as an American. Like, you would never think of something like that. All because I don't support Israel. You know? It's crazy the stuff that I've been through with the government from the past 3 years.
You're on a no-fly list?
I am on a no-fly list.
Really?
I am on a
Did you confirm this? This is 100%.
Literally, I tried to fly to UK because somebody invited me out there. They denied me. America denied me to get on a flight to the UK and said that I am red barred from flying out of the country.
So how do you fight that legally?
CARE. Thank you, CARE, because CARE takes care of all my legal needs. CARE is an organization for activists that going through stuff like I'm going through. I mean, I've been kicked out of hotels just because people don't like the way my truck looks.
Right.
Uh,
But what is CARE doing for the flight
They're fighting to get my rights back. Basically, that's
it's a legal entity. Is that what it is?
I'm going to say it. The Zionist regime controls the government.
Right.
And the government said I can't have a passport.
Mm-hmm.
So they're fighting to get my passport back right now. Shout out to CARE guys. Because they are great. They have a great legal team. And, we're very close to getting this back. I've already been notified.
Oh, okay. That's good.
So,
So you'll be able to fly soon, basically.
Yes. And as soon as I sell my truck, I'm out of here. I'm going to Ireland. I want to go to a country where I can openly support Palestine. And the reason I chose Ireland, and I don't think I've told you this.
We've spoken about it.
There's a history behind Ireland.
Tell me about Ireland.
Ireland went through 500 years of oppression and genocide by the British. And the Ottoman Empire saved Ireland, which is Arabs, basically. The Turkish Arabs. They saved us. They snuck ships in with food to the Irish people, and they were sending money to the Irish people. They were sending $10,000 at one point, and the Queen of England went over there and told him, stop sending this much money. Send 1,000. And he did. He sent 1,000. But like we have freedom flotillas, he snuck ships to Ireland to feed the people. And if it wasn't for the Ottoman Empire, there would be no Ireland. So this is why the Irish backed the Arabs and backed the Middle East so much, because they saved us. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't exist. My great-grandfather told me stories of him eating potatoes out of the ground. He told me how his father had to survive. They were almost eating dirt.
Wow.
So we owe a lot to the Middle East. And that's why people like me that are Irish, we stand up for the Middle East.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of support from the Irish.
Oh,
I've seen it.
Let me tell you something, what they did in Ireland. I'm going to give a big shout out to Ireland because they kicked the Israeli consulate out of Ireland and opened up a Palestine museum in its place.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So, I'm giving it up to Ireland 100%. And that's why I want to get out of here and I want to move there. So I hope Ireland will give me a asylum. I'm seeking asylum.
So you've been to Ireland before?
I've never been.
You've never been to Ireland?
I've never been.
And you could see yourself living there for the rest of your life?
No, I want to live in Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
I want to live in Palestine. I want to live in Ramallah, believe it or not.
What makes you want to live in Palestine, Ramallah?
I want to live where all the prophets come from. I want to live in the motherland.
Right.
I've always known about the motherland, but growing up, I knew it as Israel. I was brainwashed. But we all know that Jerusalem is the capital of Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
I want to live in Ramallah because Ramallah's I've heard lots of stories about Ramallah. I've seen lots of videos of Ramallah before the genocide started.
Yeah.
It was beautiful there. Very beautiful.
Yeah.
And loving. I mean, people were visiting there, and Americans go to the Middle East, no matter where you go at in the Middle East, they treat you like your family over there. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
They're very hospitable.
Yes,
very hospitable.
The Arab culture is very hospitable. I mean, everybody tries to feed me on the road.
Yeah.
But too bad I'm on a diet, and the one thing I learned about Arabs that, they'll offer you, and they will offer you. And if you deny them, they do get a little insulted. But, I'll take a couple bites. I won't say I'm not going to eat nothing. But please don't buy me a big meal because I'm just only going to take a couple of bites. So that way you won't feel insulted. But they are very hospitable.
Yeah,
their hospitality is amazing.
I agree. Very respectful.
I mean, look at you. You welcomed me in your house. We had dinner the other night.
We're a family.
And
family.
I felt like family in there. We were joking, laughing around, and it was a great time.
Yeah.
Great time.
Yeah, that's how most Arabs are.
Yeah, I mean that's the traveling across the country. I can say that Arabs are Semitic, 100%,
Mhm.
and every time I encounter a Zionist, it's just so anti-Semitic.
Right, right.
The anger they spit at me. You don't see Zionists welcome me with open arms and, hey, how you doing? Let's just have a conversation about this. You can't even talk to these people about
Yeah,
Palestine.
they're impure,
100%.
fake, impure, evil.
They
parasites.
complain about us protesters, but now they're using our chants. Like in New York City, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Now they're chanting in New York, from the river to the sea, New York will be free. What river and what sea? Because America's in between two oceans.
And free from what? What is New York gonna be?
We
free
need to be
from?
free from Zionism. That's,
That's
what
exactly
we need.
what we need to do. I don't know. They're desperate. I think.
I mean,
think
there's
they're
so
desperate.
much Islamic phobia going on in this country,
Well, that's because they created it.
and it does.
They're the ones that created division.
Another thing is though that they're all Zionists, acting like Christians, and they're trying to make Christians go against Muslims. But what they're really doing is they're making it hard for people like me, that are white revert Muslims in America, that want to go to the mosque and pray, but so many mosques will look at us and be like, "Oh, you're maybe working inside for them. You might be a spy." They're scared to let us pray there,
Yeah, yeah.
and it pushes us away from Islam. But I mean, I'm never going to be pushed away from Islam. I've been Muslim way too long, and
Alhamdulillah. Thank God.
alhamdulillah, I love my religion. I love my religion with all my heart.
Yeah.
I've been called a traitor. I've been called a terrorist. I've been told to go back to my country.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm from Texas, so what am
Yeah.
I supposed to go back to Texas? So, I mean,
You become a threat to them. That's why.
yes, but at the same time, they make it hard for Muslims in America to trust Caucasian people, even Muslim Caucasian people.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't have a thobe on going to the mosque as a white person, they won't believe you're Muslim. I don't have those problems because I'm known all over the world. But what about the person that is not known all over the world, that is new to Islam, doesn't know much about Islam, doesn't speak a lick of Arabic?
Yeah.
That person's going to get shunned away. And it's bad because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it so Americans don't become Muslim.
I wanted to ask you, what is your what do you feel about this guy Jake? You heard about this guy slapping the
I was
Quran
just
with
in
bacon
Dearborn.
and
I was just in Dearborn when he burnt the Quran.
Yeah.
Okay, and I watched the police hold the lighter fluid while he did
yeah,
it.
you told me about that. the other day.
Shame on that cop. By the way, he's not an Arab cop. He was a white cop. They made him look so good, but we released the bad, because when Jake Lang threw the Quran into the fire pit, he used the fire extinguisher to put it out. But when we were protesting, he took the lighter fluid and held it while Jake Lang lit the Quran on fire.
Mm-hmm.
This guy Jake Lang, man, first of all, he's a pedophile. I have the messages in my phone of him talking to a 15-year-old girl. This guy goes to jail more than Michael Jackson changes his shoes from doing the moonwalk. I don't know how this guy gets out of jail so fast, too. But he is in jail, and 30 minutes later, he's out.
He's out. The help of
So
Zion.
this shows you that he's funded by Zionism.
Oh yeah.
And he's not even Christian. He's a Jew that has been to Israel. He's kissed the Wailing Wall. He's wrapped his hand. He's put his head on that wall.
Yeah, I've seen those footage. I've seen those pictures.
What he's doing is he's cosplaying as a Christian.
He's creating division.
Basically, he's trying to create division. But what he doesn't know is that he's bringing Muslims and Christians together more. And with all these white supremacists attacking Islam, like the situation in San Diego, where, three Muslim men were unalived, protecting the children in the school. May Allah rest their souls at ease. But these were white supremacists that were doing this, and they get it in their brain from people like Jake Lang and Valentina Gomez that Muslims are such bad people. Well, let me tell you something. As a white American, I have traveled this country and I have prayed in over 500 or 600 mosques in this country, and not once did I feel unsafe around a Muslim or an Arab or anybody at the mosque. They were the most welcoming mosques I've ever been to. I have never felt unsafe at a mosque.
Right. Speaking of a mosque, what is your thought about what just recently happened in San Diego?
That's very upsetting. I mean,
you had an experience there. You were telling
I
me.
I had a bad experience there. I was called anti-Semitic because of my truck. Of course, you know, my truck said F Israel
Right.
on the tailgate.
Yeah.
So I can see why they wanted me to take the truck off the property. But they didn't let me pray Maghrib there, you know, and that was upsetting. But all of
because
that,
of your truck, though.
Because
not,
of my
not
truck.
because of you.
Because of my truck, not because of me, but because of my truck.
But you got to admit, though, you do understand.
I'm about
the
to I'm about to break
language.
this down for you.
Yeah. Go.
Despite everything I went through at that mosque, nobody deserves to be unalived, and no mosque deserves to have anybody, I mean anybody, attack it. That is a hate crime. It is anti-Semitic, and it was a terrorist act. But the police did not call it that. They did not call it a terrorist attack. They did not call it a hate crime. They called it injustice. They called it something that it wasn't. They should have called it for what it is. It was a terrorist attack on Muslims. But if that had been a synagogue or Jewish people, they would have called it anti-Semitic. They would have called it a hate crime, and they would have called it terrorism.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Anything that a white guy does, they call them crazy. That's what they do.
No, I agree.
Oh, they weren't mentally right. These guys were mentally right to write on the rifles and write on their bullets.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I don't believe that.
They were not unstable.
Yeah. If that was a Muslim, you know, going into a church, synagogue, or
You'd have been a terrorist.
you would have been a terrorist right away. No matter what age it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to ask you, the 3 deceased, did you meet them when you went out there? Do you remember meeting any of them?
The guy, the security guard, was the one that I had a
I mean Abdullah.
Yes, he was the one I had a big problem with.
You had a problem with him?
He was the one that called me anti-Semitic and told me
No, you didn't
that
tell
if
me
I
this.
wanted, he told me if I wanted to fight for Palestine to go over there and fight for them. I was actually on the phone when all this happened at that mosque. I was on the phone with a brother named Nada here in New Jersey. He's a real good brother to me. And I told him to mute himself. He's getting ready to find out how I get treated at mosques sometimes because of my truck. But yes, this guy said all this to me. Despite him saying all that to me, I forgive him. You know, may Allah rest his soul in peace. And may Allah grant him Jannah and Jannah to Firdaus.
I mean.
You know, you cannot be mad. The Quran teaches us not to hold grudges.
Right, of course.
As a Muslim, the bigger man is the one that says Salaam alaikum first when you're angry at each other. You cannot be angry at each other more than 3 days. There's a hadith about this.
Right.
So I never got to talk to the man again because I vowed I wouldn't go back
But
to
wait,
San Diego.
he said that to you because of your truck?
He called me anti-Semitic because of my truck.
Because of your truck.
He said everything on my truck is anti-Semitic.
Right.
I mean, I have a witness to this. But that's not something I want to focus on because I forgive him for that. I don't even want to talk about that anymore.
Right.
You know, I've even gone as far as taking down my Google review about this mosque.
Mm-hmm.
And the video I have on Instagram, I'm going to take that down too because it's all about forgiving and forgetting.
I agree.
You know, when you forgive somebody, it's no need to talk about what happened in the past because the past is the past and Allah says we always look for the future.
Right.
And the future is the next salat. We live for the next salat. We don't live for the previous ones. We've already passed the previous ones. It's time to move on to the what's next.
I understand. What do you have in the future? What do you see your future like? You know, like what's ahead for you?
Well, I'm hoping in my lifetime that Palestine will be free.
Right.
because I can see myself living.
No, I'm talking about you right now. You,
Me?
you, Redneck. What do you see for yourself? You're not married. Are you looking to get married?
I am.
You're looking to have kids. Are you looking to start a new life for yourself?
Believe it or not, I don't want to have any more kids. That ship has come and gone. I'm 44 years old. I don't want to be an 80-year-old dad. You know, I don't want to be
Right.
chasing kids around at my age. I do want to get married. I'd make a great dad, so I'd love to marry somebody that has kids. You know, already. I'd make a great father. I'm a great guy. I mean, I really don't need a wife. I can do everything for myself. I can do everything a woman is supposed to do for a man. You know, except for, you know, we're not going to say it on the microphone. Well, you know what I'm talking about. So you know how it is, brother. I can't do what they do because it's forbidden in Islam. So.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is that that's what you want to do. You want to get married and settle down. You don't want to stay alone.
I want a wife.
You want a companionship,
I
right?
want a wife, but I'm being picky.
Right.
And I'm gonna be real honest. I want a Palestinian wife.
Yeah. Ride to die wife.
One that's gonna. It's not about ride or die. I want one that's gonna wear a hijab, wear her overgarments.
But
follow
Palestinians
Islam.
are not the only ones that wear hijab.
But I have. This is what I want.
That's what you want.
You know, I can't say I'm gonna get it because we only know. Well, Allah only knows what He has in store for me. My life is already written. I could marry somebody from Syria. As long as she's a hijabi, I don't care what race she is. I'd prefer a Palestinian because it's in my blood already, you know. But I'm not picky. I don't go for looks, and I just go for I want them to be able to study Islam. I want them to pray. You know, I want somebody that's going to follow the deen, because my life is Palestine and Islam. I don't miss a prayer. I haven't missed a Eid. I haven't missed a Ramadan since I've been Muslim. I am a true believer. I may not dress in overgarments because, of course, I'm a big guy. They don't have my size. Nobody carries my size. I go to these Palestine events and can't even find T-shirts in my size that say Free Palestine on them. So, you know, it's very hard. But I'm not picky. I just want somebody that follows the deen, somebody that is a true believer to Islam and prays 5 times a day. That's all I want. And I don't want nobody that wants $1 million dowry. Okay?
That's
what happened to the days when we could get married just giving a wife a Quran and a prayer rug? You know? Now they want sports cars and iPhone 18s and they want all this material stuff. Do they know that whatever you get for dowry, if you ever get divorced, you have to give that back to him? I almost got married one time, though.
Yeah, tell us about that.
I'm not going to mention her name, but she's on TikTok. She was on TikTok. She's not on TikTok anymore. I offered her my truck, my fully wrapped Palestine truck. The title to my truck as dowry. And she didn't take it. Kind of shot me down. You know,
you offered your truck to her
as dowry. My Palestine truck. As much as I love my truck, I offered to her as dowry. I don't have much to give. I'm not rich, you know. I'm rich in heart, and I'm rich in love.
So what happened when you offered her your truck? What did she say?
She turned me down.
Why?
She wasn't ready to get married, but then she turned around and married somebody else. So it hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
And I never seen her body. I only seen her in a hijab. And it hurt me bad. You know.
She was a Palestinian?
She was a Palestinian.
Where did you meet her?
I met her on TikTok.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Believe it or not, there's a couple of people on TikTok I kind of like, but I don't think I can ever. A couple of them are not in the country. I got one in UK that I really like. I've never seen her face. I've never seen her body, but her mentality and her love for Palestine and she's a hijabi. She openly says I'm a hijabi.
Right.
You know,
You're in love with her soul.
I'm in love with her soul, yeah. But I don't see me being with her. You know, people tell me that there's millions of women that want to marry me. Well, where are they at? Because I'm looking. I really want a wife that wants to travel with me.
Yeah.
I will show you some of the most beautiful sights. I've taken my truck to waterfalls. My truck is big. It drives in these rivers. I drive in these rivers and
You heard it. You heard it firsthand. If anybody's looking to get married to Redneck, comment below and we'll hook you up with him.
I'm looking to get married. I'm looking to settle down, man. I don't even want to go back to Texas. I'm blacklisted from the oil fields. There's no way I'll ever get a job with another oil company in Texas. The Zionists have straight blacklisted me. So I don't care if I got to flip burgers at a fast food restaurant. It will definitely not be McDonald's. I don't care how much they pay me. I'll never work for the Zionists again. I'd rather work for a halal company.
Well, you know what they say. When one door closes,
another one opens.
Another one opens.
You know, I'll never make $92 again. So, ladies, don't think I'm going to be rich again ever.
You never know. You never know.
But, you know, it was fun for the first 2 years of hiding myself in my truck. You know, nobody knew who I was. They just knew that this massive Palestine truck is driving around the country. Nobody knew who the driver was. And I did that for a reason, man. I didn't want people to think I was doing this for fame or clout or anything like that. I spent my own money for the first 2 years doing this. And I'm happy that I hid myself. I wanted the truck to bring awareness. And the truck did its job. It's done its job. I was actually just talking to one of my friends and asking him, like, you know, maybe it's time for me to take everything off my truck, make my truck normal, and start interviewing people in the streets. Because my truck's already done its job, and there's so many people now wrapping their vehicles.
Yeah.
So I'll always be the original OG, truck wrapped, but maybe, because I can't take my truck everywhere. You know, I want to go sit in Times Square and park my truck. I can't, because leaving it might get vandalized while I'm out interviewing people.
Right.
So this is why, you know, I'm thinking about making my truck red again and letting other people have cars now.
Yeah.
Letting other people try to, you know, make something of this.
You're going to change your truck to all red?
I would change it back.
And take all of that stuff off? Are you really going to do that?
Not really what I want to do, but I have to do something, because just driving the truck around is not going to work anymore.
Right.
People are already awake. This truck has woken so many people up, but it's not going to wake anybody up anymore.
Right.
They're already as awake as they're going to get.
I agree.
You know?
I agree. I do agree.
It's time for me to start talking to people in the streets.
Yeah.
But I can't park my truck in Times Square and walk down the street and start questioning people. I'll come back and have 4 flat tires.
Right.
You know, if I make my truck red, then nobody knows it's my truck. I can go interview people about Israel and America and the governments and go back and have a healthy truck still. You know, it's just very hard parking my truck. In the past 3 years, I haven't had any fun. I haven't been to the movies. I haven't been bowling.
Yeah.
I haven't done nothing.
You haven't had a life. All you did was
my life is protesting
and going
to sleep.
around. Yeah.
Protesting, going to sleep.
So you are looking to have a life.
I am looking.
Turn your truck red. So is Redneck cashing in the chips on his truck, turning it red, and just keeping the whole Redneck thing on the road with both, with interviews and stuff like that?
It's something that I would have to ask my followers what I should do.
Okay, yeah, that's
my
fair.
followers are a big part of my life.
Yeah.
And if I would have to ask them, you know, what should I do? Because everybody knows me for my truck. Can you imagine me getting out of a truck that's not pro-Palestine? Can you see me still getting recognized for the work I've done without my truck?
Right.
That's my thing, you know, because there's been times I've been out with you, and I've been out with Nader, and I've been out with other people in other parts of the country without my truck, and I don't get recognized. People don't know who I am.
They don't know who you are. Only with your truck. So is it your identity?
I think
your truck is your identity.
I think my truck is my identity.
Yeah.
And I think if I strip all that off, nobody will know who I am anymore.
Right. So you need to be recognized.
It's not that I need to be recognized.
But you want to be recognized.
I want. It's not. I don't care if I'm recognized.
Right. Right.
I
your
just
voice.
care
your
about
voice. Your
my
support.
voice.
Your support.
I feel like
Palestine.
my voice will not be recognized anymore if I went to driving a regular vehicle.
I got you. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. You know, we'll drop Redneck's Instagram and social media so you guys can go follow him. He's been a great friend, got a great heart. Go and follow him for more content. He is gonna wrap his truck red again.
No.
He maybe
depending on my
get rid of
followers.
his truck if the followers agree to it.
Unless somebody buys it first, so I can.
Unless somebody buys it first, so he can move out of the country. But please, nobody buy his truck because we want him to stay in this country. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. God bless.
Thank you for having me.